I got baptized when I was probably about 2 or 3 years old, long before I could remember really what was going on or what I was doing. Growing up, I was blessed with a really good, solid Christian upbringing. God gave me that desire to follow Him, to want to please Him. But baptism wasn't really something I thought about a lot. To me, it was just kind of one of those check boxes on the Christian to-do list that I've already checked off. In college, I started going to Cross Point. We were still in the warehouse in Rimerton. One Sunday, David preached on baptism, and I got to hear this really solid biblical definition of what baptism is and what's going on when someone gets baptized. And God really started stirring my heart to see baptism as this thing that God commanded us to do to communicate what Christ has done in our lives as believers spiritually. That just as He died and was buried and was raised again, we were buried with Him in His likeness, and we're raised back up again to walk a new life. And so I wanted to participate and celebrate that. I wanted baptism to be something that I took part in with me understanding and knowing the meaning of it. So as a faith family, we gathered together and drove to someone's house who had a pool. And David got in the pool and baptized me and maybe 2 or 3 others. And it was just an awesome experience. It was a time of unity, a time of celebrating, hey, look at what Jesus has done in my life, and people in my faith family alongside me celebrating that as well. Years later, I got married, and it was just an awesome way that God worked things out, because I come to find that Hannah, kind of had a similar story where she got baptized at an earlier age. I think she was a little bit older than I was, but she was baptized at a time when she really didn't understand, what it was. And as she lived her life, witnessing the grace of Jesus and Jesus building her up and shaping her life. After we were married, she heard a sermon, much like me, from David about baptism, and she was stirred in the same way that I was, and realized, I want to get baptized, celebrating what I've experienced Jesus do in my life over the years. For a believer, the resurrection, your knowledge of the resurrection and what the resurrection means for you, it should impact your entire life. But I think often for us, we kind of let the resurrection fall to the back of our minds when really it should be at the forefront. And that's why I think baptism is so important. It's a time that we all come together and we celebrate what Jesus does, what he has done in our lives, what He keeps doing in the lives of others. And it kind of puts the resurrection kind of front and center once again. And I know for me, getting to even just witness baptism, witness somebody getting baptized on a Sunday morning, it impacts me so much, because I start celebrating the resurrection. That's something that impacts my life on a day-to-day basis.